She leaned forward, her face twisted with rage. And then, she spat at me, right on my chest, and said, "You disgusting old hag. I wish you'd just die already." I didn't scream. I didn't slap her. I didn't even cry. I just stood there, shaking. Because in that moment I realized something terrifying. The daughter I sacrificed my entire life for had already buried me in her heart. And that was the moment I decided I would take everything back. I'm 67 years old now. My name is Evelyn. I raised my daughter Lena alone. Her father left when she was 6. No goodbye, no child support, no apologies. It was just me and her. I worked 2 jobs, cleaned offices at night, packed lunches at dawn, skipped meals so she could eat better food. When she wanted ballet lessons, I sold my wedding ring. When she wanted a car at 18, I took a loan in my own name. When she married her husband Mark, I gave them my entire savings as a down payment for their house. People warned me, "Evelyn, don't give her everything. Kids forget sacrifices." I laughed and said, "Not my daughter." I was wrong. It didn't happen overnight. At first it was little things. She stopped calling, stopped inviting me, started sighing whenever I spoke. Then came the comments. "Mom, you're embarrassing. Mom, don't wear that. Mom, you're always in the way." When I moved into the small room in their house, the one they insisted I take, everything changed. Suddenly I was too loud, too slow, too old, too much. She'd roll her eyes when I walked into the kitchen. She'd whisper to Mark, loud enough for me to hear, "God, she's so gross." I started eating alone in my room. I started apologizing for breathing. That morning I accidentally spilled tea. Just a few drops. My hands shake sometimes now. Lena exploded. She stormed toward me screaming, "Can't you do anything right?" I tried to clean it. That's when she leaned in, spat on me, and screamed, "You disgusting old hag. This is why no one wants you." Something inside me cracked. Not loudly, quietly. I looked at her, this woman who had my eyes, my smile, and felt nothing. No love, no warmth, just clarity. At a family dinner, Lena smiled at her guests, then pointed at me and said, "She's basically useless now, but we keep her out of pity." Everyone laughed awkwardly. I smiled. Because if I didn't, I would have shattered. That night I cried into my pillow, like a child who didn't know what she'd done wrong. I spilled tea, just a little. My hands shake sometimes. Lena stormed toward me, screaming, "You ruin everything." Before I could speak, she leaned in and spat, right on my chest. "You disgusting old hag." Something inside me went silent. No anger, no tears, just clarity. That night I called my lawyer. He reminded me the house was mine, the car was mine, the accounts were mine. Because years ago, someone had warned me, love doesn't protect you. Paperwork does. I finally listened. I didn't yell. I didn't threaten. I filed paperwork, canceled payments, removed my name, filed eviction notices. When Lena found the documents, her knees buckled. "Mom, this is a mistake." I looked at her calmly and said, "No, this is accountability." She cried. She begged. She blamed stress. She blamed her husband. She blamed me. Then she said, "You're my mother. You're supposed to forgive." I replied softly, "I was your mother. You treated me like trash." They lost the house, lost the car, lost their image. Friends disappeared. And suddenly, I was useful again. Weeks later, Lena stood at my door, eyes swollen, voice shaking. I didn't mean it. I said, "You meant it when you said it." Then I closed the door, and for the first time in years, I breathed. After they were gone, the house felt strange, too quiet. I expected peace. Instead, I felt grief, not for what I lost, but for the daughter I thought I had. I walked through the rooms slowly, the kitchen where I cooked for them, the hallway where Lena once ran to hug me as a child, the living room where she learned to walk. Every corner whispered, she wasn't always cruel, And that truth hurt more than the abuse. At night, memories attacked me. Lena at 5 holding my finger. Lena at 12 crying after her first heartbreak. Lena at 20 promising, "I'll take care of you one day, Mom." I used to replay those moments to survive the present. Now they haunted me. Because love, when it turns toxic, doesn't disappear. It rots. Word spread. Neighbors whispered. Church friends asked questions. Some said, "You went too far." Others said, "She's your child. You should have endured." I smiled politely. But inside I screamed, why is endurance always expected from the abused? Never from the abuser? No one asked how many nights I cried. No one asked how many times I wished I wouldn't wake up. They only cared when power shifted. Lena posted online. Vague posts. Some mothers only care about money. Blood means nothing to narcissists. People messaged me. Some accused me. Others warned me. I didn't respond. Because when someone has spat on your soul, you don't argue. You detach instead of replying online. I wrote her a letter. Not angry, not emotional. Honest. I wrote, "You didn't hurt me when you took advantage of me. You hurt me when you showed me that my love meant nothing to you." I never sent it. Some truths are not for the abuser. They are for closure. Months passed. Mark left. The business collapsed. Friends vanished. Lena called me one night, drunk, crying. She said, "Everything is gone, Mom." I asked softly, "Do you remember what you said to me?" Silence. Then sobbing. She begged to meet. I agreed. Public place. Daylight. She looked smaller, older, broken. She whispered, "I didn't think you'd actually leave." I replied, "I didn't think my daughter would spit on me." She reached for my hand. I pulled back, not in anger, in protection. People ask me, "Do you forgive her?" Here's the truth. Forgiveness without accountability is permission. Love without boundaries is self-destruction. I didn't stop loving her. I stopped sacrificing myself. To prove it, I redecorated the house, painted the walls, adopted a small dog, started walking every morning. For the first time in decades, my life belonged to me. Peace didn't arrive loudly. It arrived quietly. Like respect should have that night after meeting Lena, I didn't sleep. Not because I missed her, but because for the first time, I allowed myself to feel everything I had buried for years. The humiliation, the fear, the loneliness. I sat on the edge of my bed and whispered, how did it come to this? A mother asking herself how she became disposable. That question hurts more than any insult. People think cutting off a child is easy. It's not. Every morning I woke up with guilt, sitting heavy on my chest, not because I was wrong, but because society trained me to believe a mother must bleed endlessly, even when abused, even when broken. I had to unlearn that lie. An old friend, Margaret, visited me. She looked around the house, then at me, and said softly, "You look lighter." I laughed for the first time in years. She told me something I'll never forget. Children who are never told no grow up thinking love is ownership. That sentence freed me. Lena started calling again. Voicemails. Long ones. Short ones. Angry ones. Then broken ones. She said, "I don't know who I am without you fixing everything." That's when I realized I hadn't raised a daughter. I had raised dependence. And dependence turns into resentment when support is removed. One voicemail made my hands shake. She cried and said, "If you don't help me, I might not survive this." Old Evelyn would have run, panicked, sacrificed herself again. But new Evelyn paused and asked one question, is this love or control? I didn't call back, and the world didn't end. Months later, I heard from others. She'd lost her apartment. Friends stopped answering. Her reputation cracked. Not because I exposed her, but because character reveals itself when no one is cushioning the fall. I felt sadness, but not responsibility. There's a difference. I had a dream. Lena was a child again, running toward me, arms open, saying, "Mommy, don't leave me." I woke up crying, but I understood something powerful. I didn't leave my daughter. I left her abuse, and those are not the same.